Hey everyone, welcome to Pai's Kitchen. And if you're not familiar with Pai's Kitchen, this is my second show where I share with you all things yummy and delicious outside of Thai cuisine. Now, a few weeks ago, I shared with you a Thai milk pudding on Hot Thai Kitchen. Now, this week, I am sharing with you a Chinese milk pudding that is super yummy. It's a ginger milk pudding, really easy, and it's a very cool recipe. I'm so excited to get started, so let's get started. All right, there are very few ingredients in this recipe, but the most important one is the ginger. So I've got fresh ginger here, and I'm trying to get ginger juice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grate it. If you're making a lot, you can just put it in a blender or fruit processor, but I'm not making a whole lot. So grating works just fine. All right, that's good for now. I can always grate a little more if I need to. Okay, so now I'm gonna juice this ginger, and you can just push it through a strainer like this. But I like to use a cheesecloth because I feel like I can get more juice out of it. And there's so much juice I can get out of here. And I just love working with ginger. It just makes everything smell so fresh. Must get every drop. All right, I think that's good enough. Okay, now I'm going to transfer that and divide it into my serving cups. So these are the cups that I'm using to serve because we're going to let the pudding set right in here. And for each of these cups, I'm going to put just a couple of teaspoons. And you want to stir the ginger because ginger settles. There's starch in here, so if you don't stir it, then all the starch will end up at the bottom, right? Hopefully I have enough for two. Come on, come on, come on. I don't want to grate more. Ah, just made it. Now, that's the ginger. Next, the milk. So I've got here some whole milk, and I'm using whole milk because it's tastier, but you can do skim if you want. I'm actually using lactose-free milk because, one, I'm a bit lactose intolerant, and two, lactose-free milk is naturally a little sweeter, so that means I don't have to add as much sugar. So speaking of sugar, I'm adding just a little bit, and you can add more if you want it a little sweeter. Now, I'm going to intensify it with a little evaporated milk. Now, traditionally, they don't use evaporated milk, but I find the pudding set's a little firmer and it's a little richer, so I prefer that, but you can do all whole milk if you want. Now, I'm gonna heat this up just in the microwave, and you can do stovetop if you want, but I want this to be at 158 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 70 degrees Celsius. A little more, a little less will work, but not much more than that. So you'll definitely want a thermometer like this. So now this is a little bit too hot, so I'm just gonna wait a few seconds so the temperature drop, and I wanna make sure all the sugar is dissolved, so give it a stir. Perfect. So now I'm gonna just pour the milk. So I'm gonna give it a stir first, because see how the ginger has settled once again? Who knew ginger had starch, right? And now the act of pouring will sort of mix the ginger. And now I'm just gonna let this sit. Do the same thing for this one. All right. And that's it. That is, now we wait for a few minutes and our pudding will be ready. That's right. That's all there is to it. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes. Now this is a very soft pudding, okay? So don't expect this to have like a jello consistency. It's almost like this weird state between a liquid and a solid. It's so soothing when you eat it. Now the way to test if the pudding is set is to place a spoon, a small light spoon please, and you just gently drop it on the surface of the pudding. Ta-da! And if the spoon doesn't sink, then clearly it has solidified. Now I know some of you are going, what? What did I just miss? What is the setting agent, right? And it's actually the ginger. Ginger contains an enzyme that curdles milk, okay? And that's why we needed the milk to be at a specific temperature. If it's too hot, it'll denature the enzyme. If it's too cold, then the enzymes aren't gonna be, active enough to make this work. I know some of you are gonna be asking, will this work with soy milk or other milk substitute? And as far as I know, no, because this works on casein, which is a milk protein, so clearly it is not going to work in non-milk products. So if you can't have lactose, use lactose-free milk like I did. And this can be served warm or cold. If you refrigerate it, it will be a little firmer, but I personally prefer it warm. I think it's so soothing. So, time to eat. I love the way it just kind of jiggles ever so slightly. Oh, yes. Okay, see this? See how it's like barely a solid? Oh, it's so soothing. It's almost silky and velvety, but at the same time light. Heat from the ginger, which I love, and a little bit of sweetness, just ever so lightly. I don't like making this too sweet because, you know, the idea of it is a relaxing, like spa food. Think spa food. Amazing. Just amazing. Now, I know I always say, I hope you give it a try, but I know many of you are gonna run out into the kitchen right now and try just to see if it works, because that's what I did the first time I discovered it. I'm like, I'm going home and I'm doing this right now. So when you do try it, send me a photo on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and the recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. If you haven't subscribed to the show, do so right here, and I will see you next time for your next delicious adventure.